Hello and welcome to the last live coding session for the crafting interface. Let me just show you where we were last time. We can click on some spellbook, go to the items, drag some stuff in there that matches. If it doesn't match, it just returns. And then we can click the craft, but there are not enough ingredients because we still need that bone here. So let me then go to the crafting station and let's add a bone. The bone is just called crafting bone, crafting underscore bone. So we're going to add that bone. So then we can continue on crafting. And crafting happens by clicking here. So we check if the current spellbook equals craft. If it's if it's empty, then we check the spellbook first. Then we pick all of the crafting ingredient boxes that are occupied. And if there are exactly 3, then we're going to craft. And if they're not exactly 3, there are not enough ingredients, or if there is not enough occupied spaces here, we're also going to say not enough ingredients. So basically, now the only thing that's left here is to implement this. And what we need to do here is we need to enlarge the craft, enlarge the scroll we're going to craft. We're going to make it 100% opacity. We're going to tween it back. So it's like we're crafting this right now, and after some like a second, it's going to disappear. And we're going to go back to the spellbook interface. And we're going to remove all of the crafting items. So that's what we're going to do. So the first thing we're going to do here is what we're going to do is add a sub-event here. We press the B for a sub-event because we're going to pick all of these scrolls. There should be only one scroll there. And for that scroll, we're going to set the opacity to 100%. And we're going to tween to properties being the scroll scale tag. Let's call it crafting scroll scale, for example. And it should be the scale, and we're going to set it to 100 in 0.2 seconds. And we're going to ping pong that. So that means we're going to make it to 100% scale and then go back to there. And let's test that already. Test that. So we pick this. This shouldn't work. Not enough ingredients. Then we put all the ingredients in there. The bone and the scroll. Great. That's exactly what we wanted. So let's spice that up a little bit. We want to play a sound at the same time. So go to the functions, play sound. And I think I've got a sound imported here called craft. So not looping, of course. And we'll start by playing that sound, just like that. Craft, not enough ingredients, of course, but there we are. There we go, and there we go. That's it. And we didn't hear anything, at least I didn't. It's probably because my sound effects are off, I think. Or we didn't initialize the sound effects. That could also be the problem. Let's go and see here. Okay, so we need functions initialize sound effects. We need to do that when we start the logic here. I think that's the problem. Go there, do that, do that, do that. And of course we need to add sound, otherwise it won't work. Let's test that again. So like that, like that, like that. Craft. That's it. I don't really like the sound yet, but I'm probably going to replace it somewhere along the line. But that's good enough for today. So now we've got 100% opacity and it's there. But the only thing I want to do now is to leave it there for a second and remove the scroll, remove all of these items here and go back to the spellbooks. Basically, I think going back to the spellbook will automatically remove those items. See? So actually the only thing I think we need to do is set some timer to remove the scroll and go back to the spellbooks by calling this switch crafting station selection here manually. So let's go. Where were we? Okay, we're tweening here. And then did I have a timer object already? Yes, this should be the timer object. So there's a timer object here. I like to have a timer object for generic timers. So what I'll do is timer object start timer. So 1 second is fine. We call it craft timer. That's it. So and the logic here, what we're going to do is add timer objects on timer craft timer, and then we're going to call a function switch crafting selection to spellbooks. That's it. And also call scrolls destroy. That's basically going to destroy every scroll on the image here. Go to here, items, bone, worm, craft. Alright. And so we can start all over again. Okay. That's good. Now the last thing we need to do, of course, is also take care of the inventory. So because the inventory, both the temporary inventory which contains effectively the mushroom, the worm, etc., needs to be updated. So these 3 things in the ingredient boxes need to be removed from that inventory, and also the actual inventory of the scrolls needs to be increased. So for that we can go to the inventory layout here, and I think I have inventory. No, we need inventory functions, of course. And here we have the add and remove from temporary inventory. We're going to use that. And also what we're going to use is the add to inventory here. That's what we want. So we need to add an inventory scroll, and then we're going to add that scroll. So what we want to do here is we pick by evaluate spellbooks. The question is, do the spellbooks still exist after we switch? No, we destroy those spellbooks. So we need to retain what that spellbook is going to create, Do we? No, we don't. No, we don't. We can actually add that scroll here. So what we do, pick all scrolls. Of course, we need to destroy that. So we need functions add to inventory, scroll, and then we just need scrolls.object type name, and then we destroy. That's how we add the scrolls, but we need inventory functions. We've already got that. And then what we want to do is we want to pick all of the crafting. So whenever we drop here, whenever we drop a crafting item here, we move it to the layer called content. So we can just pick all of the crafting ingredient boxes and pick all of the overlapping crafting items, right? So what we do is pick all crafting ingredient boxes. I know we don't actually have to do that here, that picking, but I like to do that. Nobody's complaining. It's just, for me, it's more obvious and it just works. Then what we do is just we go for each crafting ingredient box. Pick overlapping point crafting ingredient box of X, crafting ingredient box of Y. So we've got crafting, and then we call function remove from temporary inventory crafting dot object type name. That's it. And the last thing we're going to do is this, because we need to do this as the last thing, because if you do that first, of course these crafting items will no longer exist. So that's going to be a shame. Now let's see if that still works. Select this, go to that. Alright, and now to check if all of that works, we're going to debug that. So we're going to go to inventory scrolls. Let's see. Add that dictionary to my watches. So inventory scrolls, here it is. For now we don't need those things here. So this is the inventory scrolls, and also we have the temporary interface, temporary inventory rather, temporary inventory. No, or is it called inventory temporary? Yes. Okay, and we also watch this one. Okay, so now there's like 1 mushroom, 1 worm, 3 empty scrolls, 1 caterpillar, 1 bone, and not a single scroll. So we go to there. Yep. So we watch these ones. So now there's 1 energized scroll in the inventory, 1 mushroom, 1 caterpillar, and we had 3 of those, but now all of a sudden I've got none. And why do we have this? Let's see. Crafting, so inventory functions. So remove, oh, we just remove that. Okay, that's not good. So what we do here is we check if it has the key. If it has the key, then we check if the temporary inventory compared to values, if the inventory, if that is larger than 1, then we need to inventory temporary set key bar key to this -1, else delete the key. So what we do here is we check if it's already in there. If it's already in there, if there's more than 1 in the inventory, we just subtract 1. And if there's only 1 in the inventory, then we delete the key. That's what we do here. So that was a little bug. And now we're going to check the debug layout here. Go there, go to the items, craft, and then we go to watches. Okay, 2 empty scrolls, 1 mushroom, 1 caterpillar. That's perfect. We go to here, and then we still see 5 things, and I had expected only 3. So we should go and check this switch function here, what really happens. We go to the inventory crafting. I think we should go here. We should do this. We can select the entire thing and replace the inventory crafting with inventory temporary. Now let's see. Go to the crafting. Still works. Go there. Go there. Go there. Craft it. Okay, that works. Okay. So that's it. That's great. That was the last part of the crafting interface for now. So as always, please like and subscribe. And if you want the full source code of the game, please support me on my Patreon page. Good luck.